Students, today we are going to see chapter 9, locomotion and movement. So here what all we are going to see is we are going to see the types of movement, types of muscles, types of movement, types of muscles, skeletal muscle and its function, and how the contractile protein helps in the movement of the muscles and its structure and the mechanism of the muscle contraction. All this and all we are going to see, and also about the axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton, all this, and types of joints. So these are all the content of your chapter. First one is the type of the movement. What are the types of movement we have? We have amoeboid movement. This amoeboid movement, you all know that nothing but the amoeba, how the amoeba engulfs the food, right, with the help of the food vehicle. Here in our body we have macrophages which are involved in the movement of the involved in the amoeboid movement, which is present in our body in order to protect us, right, defense system. So the amoeboid movement we see in the body in macrophages. Next one, we are going to see the ciliary movement. So ciliary movement, we all know the ciliated epithelium, right? So which is present in the respiratory tract and the genital tracts, which are lined in the reproductive organ, and also in the respiratory passages, that is in the trachea, all this part and all, right? So in order to prevent the friction. Next one, flagellar movement. In our body, usually we know what is flagella. That is nothing but the movement, a whip-like structure like this, right? So flagella will be like this, right? So it will be around the body of the bacteria, or it will be present even in one part alone, one edges also. So like that, the same thing, we have a flagellar movement in the cells. Okay, so this kind of cells we have in our body is the sperm cell. So in the sperm cell we have a tail, no? So that look like a flagella of a microorganisms, right? Here what all the movements we are learning is, we are learning the movement only related with our body, but comparatively I am saying you people that these are the movements we have in our body. Okay, so sperm cells have a tail that is similar to the flagellar movement. Okay, next one is the muscular movement. Next one is the muscular movement. So the muscular movement is nothing but the movement happens with our muscles which are present especially in the moving part. I hope you all know the difference between the locomotion and the movement. So locomotion is the movement of the whole body, from changing of the whole body position from one place to another. But the movements, muscular movement, is in your body. That means you are moving your legs, you are moving your jaws, you are moving your tongue, you are moving your hand, you are moving your fingers, like that. It is a stationary movement happens in your body. That is called as movement. So how this movement is happening? That is with the muscular contraction and the relaxation of the muscles. So that kind of movement we call it as the muscular movement. I hope so far you understood this types of movements. This is a 3-mark question. Okay, in SCRT you have, this is a 3-mark question, kindly note down. Okay, next one we are going to see the types of muscles. Okay, first we have to know what are the types of muscles we have, right? So the muscles we have is 3 types of muscles we have. So that one is the skeletal muscle, visceral muscles, and the cardiac muscles. Okay, skeletal muscle is with the bones, along with the bones the muscles are attached, and thereby it performs the works what we are doing. Then visceral muscle is nothing but the muscle which is present in the internal organs. Okay, and the cardiac muscles are separate type of muscles that is present in our heart. Okay, so first of all we have to know from which part of the our embryonic layers these muscles are made. These muscles are made from the mesoderm. What are the 3 layers we have? You say triploblastic layer is the characteristic of the chordates. So we all chordates. Chordates means what? Vertebrates. So vertebrates are those which present have the notochord, right? Notochord which develop into vertebrae, and also possess the embryonic layers. 3 layers embryonic layers are present. What is that? Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So mesoderm is the middle one. So from this mesoderm only we are getting the muscles. The specialized muscles are derived from the embryonic mesoderm. This is a 1-mark question. And next one, what are the cells present in this muscles? The muscle cells are termed as myocytes. Myo means muscle, cyte means cell. Okay, myo means muscle, cyte means cell. So it is termed as myocytes. How many percentage it holds in our body? It holds nearly 40 to 50% of the body weight in an adult. Okay, so now you should know what are the attachment, what are the connective tissues present in our muscles in order to hold the muscles together with the bone. So this one I have given already a shortcut, that is MBT. So MBT. What is mean by M? Muscle, B means bone, and T means tendon. This is the shortcut to remember the type of connective tissue which is present between the muscle and the bone, right? So muscle is attached to the bone, bone is attached with the muscle, so whatever. So that is with the help of this tendon. So tendon is the connective tissue found between the muscle and the bone. Okay, so this only helps the attachment of the muscle and the bone with the skeletal. Okay, so the, 3 types of tissues we have learned already in the tissues class, so I need not explain it in detail. So we'll move on to the next topic, skeletal muscle. So skeletal muscle is a voluntary muscle actually, because it moves under our voluntary interest, right? If I want to walk, run, do any work, writing, reading, all this and all, with the help of the skeletal muscle I do by myself. So that is a voluntary muscle. Next one, as I said, the tendon is the one which will be helpful for the attachment of the bone, right? So it is nothing but a bundle of collagen fibers. The tendon is attached to the bone, I mean the skeletal muscle is attached to the bone by a bundle of collagen fibers, that is what known as tendon. So what is the tendon is made up of? It is made up of bundle of collagen fibers. Okay, and now coming to the muscles. So what the muscles is made up of, the structure we are going to see in detail now. So the muscles are made up of muscle fibers and which is called as fascicle. Okay, so the muscle fibers, bundle of muscle fibers which is called as fascicle, even it is more than 100 to 1000, right? And it look like a rod like structure. So this muscle fiber will look like a rod like structure, that is what we call it as the myofibrils. Okay, so we say it as the myofibrils. So what is the muscle what is the fibers named here? Myo already I have said, myo means muscle. So here the fibrils is nothing but the the name given to that muscle fiber. Okay, and those bundle only, the muscle which is made up of the muscle fiber bundle, we call it as the fascicle. So now coming to the connective tissue where the whole muscle has been covered. Okay, so that is called as epimysium. So this one is nothing but, we have 3 types of coverings. Okay, one is epimysium, another one is perimysium and endomysium. So epimysium covers the whole muscles, and the perimysium, no, so that will be covering around each fascicle. What is fascicle here? It is nothing but the muscle tissue. Okay, muscle fibers present, bundle of muscle fibers present in the muscle, right? So that part is covered by the perimysium. Next one is the muscle fiber itself is covered by the another connective tissue called endomysium. So epimysium, perimysium and endomysium, these all nothing but the connective tissue which is covering every one particular part of the muscle. Okay, and these are voluntary actions I have already said, which is controlled by our willingness, right? Voluntary means what? We will control it. Involuntary means the nervous system will continue. Okay, next one is the structure of the skeletal system. So the structure of the skeletal muscle fiber, so it is very important one. Each muscle fiber, if you see, it will be very thin and elongated, and each of its both ends are tapered. Okay, tapered means, I hope you know what it is, and it is a joint, like if you think each of the corner are narrow, okay, in the both ends, and mostly the shape of the nuclei present in the muscle is oval in shape. Okay, and it is below the plasma membrane. And before knowing the structure of skeletal muscle fiber, you people have to know what is the sarcolemma, what is sarcoplasm, and all this. Okay, so sarcolemma is nothing but the plasma membrane of the muscle fiber. Okay, we say it as plasma membrane in the cell, right? Likewise, the cytoplasm of the muscle fiber, we call it as sarcoplasm. Okay, So it contains what all it contains. See, it contains in the cytoplasm we have glycosomes, we have myoglobin, and the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Here the sarcoplasmic reticulum is nothing but the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum only, which is present in the muscle fiber, we call it as sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and coming to each part which is present in our muscle fibers. So what all present inside? Okay, myoglobin. Myo means muscle, I have said already. Globin is a protein, okay, which carries the red colored respiratory pigment. So here you need to remember the hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin which gives the red color to the RBC. Likewise, the myoglobin is containing a respiratory pigment which is red in color, which is present in the muscle fiber. Okay, gives the red color to the muscles. Okay, and it is really similar to the hemoglobin because it is also having the iron group in it. Okay, and also binds towards the oxygen, and it is actually the reservoir of oxygen. That means what? This is the place, this that means the myoglobin is the one which will hold the oxygen which is needed to be supplied to the muscle fiber. So why we need this? The oxygen is needed for aerobic respiration. Then only the glycogen which is stored in the muscle will be broken down into glucose. Then it is broken down to release the energy which is needed for the muscle contraction and relaxation for performing a work. So this part is played by the myoglobin. Next one is the glycosomes. The granules of stored glycogen. The granules of, it is nothing but the granules of glycogen. So what is glycogen? It is nothing but the glucose, right? The glucose is stored in the form of glycogen in the liver. Likewise, the glycogen is stored in the form of granules. That granules we call it as glycosomes in muscles. Okay, and it is needed for the muscle fiber activity. Just now I said the oxygen which is actually present in the myoglobin, that is used for the aerobic respiration, for breaking down of the muscles in the muscle fiber, right, in order to release the energy. So this, there are two more proteins we have. One is actin and myosin. Okay, and this one, actin and myosin, are the muscle protein. So now you say what will present? Myoglobin is the respiratory pigment which is the reservoir of the oxygen, and glycosome is nothing but the granules of the glucose, and glycosomes in the form of glycogen is nothing but the granules of the glucose, and two types of protein are present, that is actin and myosin. This actin and myosin only involved in the relaxation and contraction of the skeletal muscle.